Bivouac joins the line for the big race jockey in Glenboss. Bivouac is forward.
They stand racing in the Sprint Classic. Stand out away only fairly. Nature Strip out pretty well. Beaten out by Bivouac and Fabergino, and Haydock got to fourth.
So this is Bivouac's first run since running second in the Everest. Glenboss rode the horse in the Everest. He'd also ridden the horse to win the Newmarket in March. So he had a good idea about exactly where he wanted to be in the race. We talked about which horse to follow.
Came to Barnet, and further back in the field was Sutori. Bivouac has the back of the grey mare Fabergino.
He drawn in such a way that we did feel like he wouldn't be that close to Nature Strip in the run, but he was looking like one of the horses to beat.
2 lengths Haydock, Fabergino, Sutori to Barnet. Then came Bivouac about to unleash from Grab.
But he was just ready to run the race of his prep, really. I mean, he was ready to go in the Everest to start before and this run in the Champion Sprint.
2.5 lengths, but Bivouac is chasing hard now.
It just looked like he had the race in his control a long way from home.
Strip and Bivouac, who explodes. Bivouac with a powerful display. Oh, what a spectacular win.
Proved that he didn't just win the one Group 1, didn't just put in the one big performance. You know, he won 3 Group 1s, and he put up these world-class performances twice, once in the Newmarket and once here in this Darley Champion Sprint at Weight for Age. A really serious accomplishment for a 4-year-old to be winning a Group 1 as a colt this late in his career, even after being such a brilliant 2-year-old. It's not a common trait that horses are taking to stud with them in the modern era. I think it was his best win. The team around Bivouac were pretty confident that he was a very good athlete. Sean Keogh jumped him out. Nassim Dilmy had done gallops on the horse. Glyn Schofield helped do some track work. You know, we had some excellent riders both at Crown Lodge and Osborne Park who'd sat on the horse and were giving very high quality feedback. You know, he didn't win his first couple of race starts. He lost to Time to Reign. He lost at Randwick as well. And it wasn't until we put the blinkers on him and ran the horse at Warwick Farm in the listed race there, the Lonhro Plate.
They're coming well off the fence now. Time to Reign moves up to Sylvia's Memory, but Bivouac is chiming it well on the outside, and Bivouac takes a narrow lead now from Time to Reign. Cosmic Force is looking for a clear run, then Steel Diamond. Bivouac in front of the 100 from Steel Diamond, Cosmic Force, then Time to Reign kicking on, but Bivouac will win the first.
He got up and won, he beat Cosmic Force, and he just kept going ahead since then. Not everything unfolded well for the horse in the Todman, and because he finished out of the plate, he went 4th in the Todman, he ultimately didn't gain a start in the Slipper. He was first emergency. But the Kindergarten, that Group 3 on Doncaster Day, that was like his consolation then.
Gates are back, the rough, and Bivouac jumped away brilliantly.
He lined up against Libertini, he lined up against other good horses there, and he just blew them away.
Bivouac went to it quickly, and Bivouac takes the lead now, and shot away at this point of the 200. A Theory working into the clear, is 2 lengths away, he's got the job to get there. Bivouac's off and gone though. Pin the ears back, and Bivouac is well clear.
He proved that he was an exceptional 2-year-old, and had the Golden Slipper been on a dry track and he gained a start, then I think he would have been pretty hard to beat.
Ready, Gates are back and away. Bivouac was away quite well, not as fast as Dubious, who led them.
We kicked him off in the Vane Stakes, the 1100 metre race there at Caulfield in August, and he was dynamic. Raced some horses there who were coming off good 2-year-old seasons, but you know, Bivouac just absolutely blew them away.
Bivouac behind those needing some luck. Dubious niggled out heavily as they come around the turn. Star Surprises back with it. Separated the 300 metres, led Dirty Work by a length. Bivouac now eases out 3 wide, doing it easily. Then Excess Funds, Dubious and Star Surprise. Separated the 200 metres. Now Bowman lets down Bivouac, and it exploded. Bivouac goes to the front, pumped away hands and heels, 2, 3, 4 lengths in, but it handed in.
That got his Golden Rose preparation underway. He met a very heavy track in the San Domenico, which was a shame. because he wasn't quite as effective on the wet as Exceedance was. And yet he bounced back in the run to the Rose.
Bivouac takes the lead of the 200, 2 lengths clear.
Back on top of the ground, he was able to control the race. Good, high-quality 6 furlong race every year.
Bivouac's going to turn the tables and do it big time. Bivouac goes clear for a big win.
And he won that run to the Rose very, very impressively. Started favourite in the Golden Rose.
The Golden Rose field is ready. Gates are back and they're off, and Bivouac flew out.
Proved too strong for horses like Yes, 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 who obviously were loaded with ability, but Bivouac was too good on that day.
Bivouac still on the bridle in second. Yes, Yes, Yes pulling out. A length clear from Kubrick, and Exceedance is coming off heels. It's Bivouac being joined by Yes, Yes, Yes. Yes, Yes, Yes on the outside of Bivouac, 2 further back to Exceedance. It's Yes, 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 laying it down to Bivouac. Great finish. Yes, Yes, Yes. Bivouac comes back. Bivouac fights on, and Bivouac wins the Golden Rose. Another one for Godolphin.
Prior to the Newmarket, the horse raced in the Oakley Plate. He carried quite a lot of weight against those older horses, and the track was just playing a lot closer to the inside rail than what was going to suit Bivouac, the way the race mapped. He pulled up amazing from that Oakley Plate. He trained on beautifully, and given he'd run so well on the Coolmore and had already seen the Flemington Straight, we thought he'd be quite nicely suited in the Newmarket. We found Glenn Boss to ride the horse.
Glenn Boss, who's a big race rider. He's never won this race though.
He was just unstoppable. Bumped into a top field of sprinters, but he was the dominant 3-year-old on the day.
Bivouac on the outside, chiming in strongly, then Geethra. Bivouac takes the lead from Loving Gabby at the 100. Bivouac coming away for Bossing. Bivouac on the Newmarket easily. Loving Gabby second, Photo third.
Just going to the barriers, I knew I was a winner. You can just tell when they're on, colts. And he went down to the barriers like he really meant business. Every stride he took to the barriers, it felt like he had game face on. So I grew in confidence just going to the barriers. It's incredible. And he just never put a foot wrong, and he broke beautifully. He got into a lovely trail, and that was ridiculous to how easily he won.
By the time he turned 4, Bivouac was our obvious choice for the Everest. He'd won a Golden Rose. He was close to finishing the Coolmore. He'd won 2 Group 1s already, the Newmarket in the autumn. It would have been very interesting had he run in the Everest as a 3-year-old, fresh off defeating Yes, Yes, Yes in the Golden Rose the start before. He just drew a barrier in that Everest that forced him to go that little bit further back. His run was exceptional. It was a gallant second to Classique Legend, but beat home plenty of very good horses in that Everest, and it takes a big performance to run in the first 2 in the Everest, and it was not only was that an excellent effort, but it set him up beautifully for the VRC Sprint to start later.
The favourite way is Bivouac. Nature Strip has been at his absolute very best. He'd still be rated as the best sprinter in the world at the moment.
Nature Strip's record speaks for itself. That horse is capable of being the best sprinter in the world on his day, and Nature Strip was going well. He was one of the favourites leading up to the Everest. Classique Legend and Bivouac were both able to beat him home there, but Classique Legend headed to Hong Kong, and Bivouac and Nature Strip both honed in on the Dali Sprint. But when Hugh Bowman rode Nature Strip that day, James McDonald was suspended. Bossy was riding Bivouac. There was just no holding Bivouac.
Nature Strip out pretty well, beaten out by Bivouac.
He just cruised past Nature Strip and was the superior sprinter. It's just an incredibly valuable replay, looking back and having enjoyed all of Nature Strip's wins, to know that we've got a colt on the roster, beautifully bred, great specimen, whose big performance in a race was superior to Nature Strip, who's one of the best sprinters Australia's ever seen.
Bivouac about to unleash from Graf, Libertini, Stand Out and Santa Ana Lane. Nature Strip, 300 metres to go, being nursed by McDonald, still out clear by about 2.5 lengths, but Bivouac is chasing hard now with about 150 metres to go. It's Nature Strip and Bivouac who explodes. Bivouac with a powerful display. Oh, what a spectacular win. Dominant 4 lengths Nature Strip.
We've taken some risk in keeping Bivouac in training as a 4-year-old, and I think that by putting up that performance in the Dali Champion Sprint, it showed that the horse had more to offer as a 4-year-old. He vindicated that faith that we had in him it showed that he didn't just have that one elite performance, and he wasn't just sort of he picked up a couple of Group 1s on the way through as a 3-year-old. He'd been tested again at 4, and he'd proved that he was capable of going to that elite level on more than one occasion. And I think that'll speak volumes for the horse as a prospect at stud, and proving to be capable of throwing future champions just like his sire Exceed and Excel, and the champion performances that he put up himself. What's well reflected in his career is his athleticism. He was able to race on a number of occasions from 2 all the way to 4, and he was racing at the highest level. I mean, every single one of his 7 wins was in a stakes race, with 3 Group 1s to go with him. He is, I think, the best son of Exceed and Excel to go to stud, and be a potential replacement for Exceed and Excel in the years to come. And from our perspective, given the 2-year-olds that Exceed and Excel was capable of siring, and the litany of stakes winners, over 100 individual group winners, that's a pretty exciting piece of potential on our stallion roster right there. We've got 7 yearlings by Bivouac that are coming through the system. Our team will be enjoying going to the sales and seeing what might be prospective purchases out there in the upcoming sales next year. That's one of the beauties of having young stallions on the roster. Everything that we've got to look forward to, it's all before us, and those horses have been well supported. Bivouac has got unbelievable support. Some of the best mares in the country have gone to him, and our best mares. So those horses are going to get every opportunity, and if they've got a skerrick of his talent, then that's going to take them a long way.